I knew something was off the moment I stepped into the hall. The balloons were pastel pink, the cake perfectly symmetrical, the scent of lilies heavy in the air, all too perfect for my sister Claire. She'd never planned anything herself. She always let others do the work. Yet that day, she'd insisted on every detail, every shade, every song, every guest. I should have known she was staging a show. When she saw me, her smile was too bright. "You came," she said, wrapping her arms around me, her perfume sharp enough to sting. I smiled back. Of course I came. She was my sister. My only family left since Michael's accident 2 years ago. At least, that's what I thought. The speeches began. Friends toasted. Laughter filled the room. Then Claire stood up, tapping her glass. "I have an announcement," she said. Her voice trembled with fake emotion. "My baby deserves to know the truth." And in one breath, she detonated everything. The father is Michael, my late husband. The room froze. Someone gasped. My glass slipped from my hand and shattered at my feet. I remember the sound, the soft, final crack of glass on tile, like something breaking inside me. Then came her second blow. She looked straight at me. "Since he left his estate to you, and this child is his heir, I think it's only fair we discuss my baby's share." That was her plan. Not guilt, not remorse, money. I didn't speak. I just smiled, quietly, because unlike her, I knew something she didn't. Claire and I were close once. She was wild. I was careful. She envied that. My control, my patience, my marriage. When I met Michael, she called him too good to be true. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. After he died, she was the only one who stayed. She cooked for me, sat through the silence, helped me sort his things. One night, while sorting old photos, she cried harder than I did. "He was like my brother," she said. I believed her. But grief makes you blind. The first clue came in the form of a pendant, one I'd given Michael years ago. I found it in her dresser drawer. She said she kept it to remember him. I wanted to believe that, but the lie was too polished. Then her doctor called my number by mistake. "Your sister's prenatal results are ready," he said. "Would you like to discuss the paternity confirmation?" Paternity confirmation? I hung up and smiled. That night, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just opened Michael's old files, his accounts, his will, his life insurance. I called our lawyer, told him I needed everything rewritten, with one quiet addition, a clause he never had before. In case of paternity claims, full disclosure of the estate's true ownership must be presented. Claire thought Michael owned everything. She never knew most of it was transferred to me 6 months before his death. Joint investments, real estate, trust funds. On paper, she had nothing to claim. But I wanted her to try, so I waited. And when the baby shower invitation came, with its pastel fonts and fake affection, I RSVP'd yes. Back at the hall, the air grew thick. People were whispering. My parents looked stunned. I stood calm. "You're saying Michael is the father?" Claire lifted her chin. "Yes, I have proof. DNA results." I nodded. "Perfect," I said. I reached into my purse and pulled out a white envelope. "Then you won't mind if I show mine." Inside were the documents I'd had sealed, the medical reports, the date of conception, Michael's autopsy records. The accident happened 6 weeks before she got pregnant. I watched her face drain of color. "Impossible," she whispered. "Oh, it's possible," I said softly, "because your DNA test was doctored. I had the lab rerun it. Your so-called father? Not Michael. Your ex. The one you told everyone you left." The murmurs grew louder. My mother covered her mouth. My father's eyes turned cold, the kind of cold that ends relationships. Claire stumbled back, tears smearing her mascara. You're lying! I tilted my head. Am I? The lawyer and doctor are both here. You invited them, remember? Maybe they can explain. That was the moment she broke. Her hand went to her stomach, trembling. She looked around, but no one met her eyes. My parents stood frozen, not with pity, but disgust. I didn't need to say more. She had built her moment on lies, and I'd only lit the match beneath it. Later, after the guests left and the hall emptied, I stood by the window, watching her car disappear. My mother walked up beside me. "You knew all along?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "I just waited for her to admit it." She nodded slowly. "You could have destroyed her sooner." "I could have," I said, "but then she would have still played the victim." Outside, the sky was quiet, clean, the way it looks after a storm finally burns out. I didn't hate Claire anymore. Hatred requires energy, and she'd already taken enough of mine. What I felt now was balance.